If leadership is influence, then dialogue is the oxygen that keeps it alive. Welcome back, friends. I'm LaTania Michelle, Executive Coach and Corporate Communication Strategist, and in this session, we're exploring the second pillar of the L.E.A.F and DES framework, encouraging dialogue. In our previous episodes, we talked about the human edge in an AI world and how listening turns vulnerability into strength. Today, we'll look at how two-way communication moves organizations from updates and announcements to genuine collaboration and innovation. This is not about talking more. It's about designing environments where everyone's best thinking is invited, heard, and activated. We've all seen it. Talented people sit silently through meetings only to spill brilliant ideas later in the hallway. They're not disengaged, they're cautious. Dialogue doesn't flourish automatically, it happens by design. Psychological safety, that belief that I can speak up without being punished or dismissed, predicts learning behavior and innovation. When safety rises, idea sharing rises. Diversity of voices multiplies the number of hypotheses, which increases the chance of discovering a better solution. Two-way communication also improves sense-making. We don't just share information, we shape how the team interprets it. Innovation, then, is not only a creativity problem, it's a communication pattern problem. When communication is one way, innovation becomes one-dimensional. As I tell executives, if your meetings are monologues, your results will be predictable and average. To understand why open dialogue works, let's briefly step into the neuroscience. When people anticipate judgment, interruption, or career risk, the brain's threat system fires. Stress hormones surge and creativity plummets. Smart people get quieter, not because they don't care, but because their brains are conserving energy for safety. Yet when someone speaks and feels heard, the brain releases chemicals linked to bonding and motivation. Trust increases and learning centers light up. Suddenly, you get honest data earlier. And remember, not everyone processes at the same pace. Introverts and second language speakers often generate stronger ideas after they've had a moment to think. If your format only rewards fast talkers, you're leaving value on the table. The message here is simple. Dialogue isn't only about what you ask, it's about how and when you ask. The setup matters as much as the question. Of course, several common barriers shut dialogue down before it starts. Hierarchy often causes people to defer to rank. You can offset that by inviting junior voices first or by collecting ideas anonymously ahead of time. Overloaded agendas cram 10 topics into 1 hour, leaving no space for depth, so pick one strategic question and explore it fully. Leaders addicted to quick answers blur the line between ideation and decision. Separate those intentionally. And old meeting habits keep everyone trapped in predictable rhythms. Rotate facilitators, assign a timekeeper, appoint someone to play devil's advocate. The loudest voice usually wins unless you change the structure. As I often say, organizations rarely lack ideas, they lack a fair pathway for ideas to surface. Let me ground this in a few real-world stories. One global retailer was stuck in firefighting mode until it introduced Forum Fridays, 45-minute cross-functional sessions held twice a month. Each meeting centered on one strategic question. All ideas were welcome. No decisions were made on the spot, and someone captured contributions live on a shared screen. Within 3 months, they saw a measurable uptick in implemented ideas and a noticeable lift in morale. The magic wasn't software, it was rhythm. At a regional health system, daily 12-minute speak-up huddles asked three simple questions: what went well, what's concerning, and what support is needed. Patterns were acknowledged, and follow-ups came within 48 hours. Employee engagement and patient care scores both climbed. Another tech team I coached used a red team divided by blue team ritual. One group pitched an idea. The other respectfully attacked assumptions for 10 minutes. Then they switched. It made debate fun, not personal, and saved countless reworks. And at a consulting firm, meetings began with 5 minutes of silence where everyone wrote down their thoughts before speaking. That silent start gave introverts equal airtime and improved the quality of every decision. If you want to try something new this week, here are simple formats that work. The first is called 1, 2, 4, all. Start with 1 minute of silent reflection, then 2 minutes in pairs, then 4 minutes in groups of 4, and finally share with the whole room. It's fast, inclusive, and works with any group size. Another option is the round robin. Pose a single question, give everyone 90 seconds uninterrupted, and capture ideas live. You'll be amazed at the balance it creates. For ongoing innovation, create an anonymous idea box and host a short monthly demo day where 2 ideas get 10 minutes each to present. Publicly post what's adopted, piloted, or parked and why. The key is closing the loop so people see results. You can also improve quality by sending a 1-page brief before the meeting so people come prepared for dialogue, not download. End with clear owners and next steps. And if you want momentum, use quick digital voting so energy is visible. Top ideas move into 2-week experiments, turning conversation into action. Sometimes, though, transformation begins not with a new meeting, but with a new sentence. Try asking, what are we not seeing that could cost us later? Or, if you had to argue the opposite side, what would you say? Invite quieter voices with, before we open it up, I'd love to hear from someone who hasn't spoken yet. When momentum is rushing too fast, say, let's stay in explore mode for 5 more minutes. If someone shares a half-formed idea, respond, that's a spark. What would make it a flame? And when tension arises, reframe it. It sounds like we share the same goal but see different risks. What small test could help us learn faster? These short phrases shift energy from defensiveness to curiosity. Remember the mantra, curiosity before certainty, learning before landing. To build a culture of dialogue, you need rituals, norms, and visible signals. Rituals are predictable spaces, monthly open question sessions, quarterly idea jams, weekly retrospectives. Norms are the rules everyone agrees to. Assume positive intent. Build on ideas instead of piling on. Disagree on concepts, not on people. And signals are the visible cues that prove you mean it. Leaders taking notes in real time, publishing outcomes within 48 hours, and crediting contributors by name. People rarely believe what leaders say. They believe what leaders repeat and reward. Measurement keeps momentum alive. Track a voice index, the percentage of people who speak at least once in a meeting. Count idea submissions, tests, and adoptions each quarter. Measure how quickly you close the loop between suggestion and response. Ask one simple question regularly. I feel safe raising concerns or ideas true or false. Finally, monitor meeting health. Were there pre-reads, clear time limits, and defined outcomes? Post the trends. Improvement itself builds belief. Real life, of course, brings resistance. When an executive says, I don't have time for all this conversation, respond with structure. Let's spend 12 minutes exploring, then we'll decide with more confidence. When one person dominates, interrupt gracefully. Let's pause for a moment and widen the lens. If your team sits in silence, pivot to writing first. 2 minutes of quiet reflection before speaking can unlock hidden insight. If someone always plays devil's advocate, assign and rotate the role. It turns criticism into contribution. And when virtual teams look drained, inject quick rituals, emoji check-ins for energy, 3-minute breakout pairs, or one idea harvest per group. Encouraging dialogue is also how inclusion becomes real. Use simple language so everyone can follow. Invite asynchronous input through shared documents so reflective thinkers shine. Rotate who facilitates meetings. Give public credit when someone's idea drives change. And protect time boundaries. Structure signals respect. When everyone contributes, decisions get better and commitment deepens. But remember, dialogue without decisions breeds cynicism. Always close the loop. Name whether you're exploring, deciding, or debriefing. Capture ideas, risks, and next steps visibly. Land one small test with an owner and success metric. Publish results within 48 hours, even if the answer is not now. And celebrate learning, not just winning. People will believe their voice matters when they can trace it to an outcome. Stories help these principles stick. Share a moment when one question changed everything, or when an unexpected voice brought a breakthrough idea, or when healthy debate prevented a costly mistake. These stories become culture in motion. Repeat them until your people repeat them for you. To make this tangible, try a 30-day dialogue sprint. In week 1, run a meeting with a silent start and introduce one new norm, such as assume positive intent. Track who spoke. In week 2, launch an idea box and run one short 1-2-4 all session on a real issue. In week 3, vote, choose 1 or 2 ideas and pilot them. In week 4, close the loop publicly, celebrate contributors, and reflect on what made dialogue easier. Next month, choose a new question and do it again. Momentum builds culture faster than memos. End each meeting with reflection. Ask yourself, where did I assume instead of ask? Whose voice changed my mind today? What tension surfaced that we handled well? What's the smallest experiment we can run next? How will we show the team that their voice had an impact? Reflection keeps your leadership honest and adaptive. Your challenge this week is to host one conversation purely in explore mode. Announce it. For the next 15 minutes, we're exploring, not deciding. Use one inclusive format, maybe 1, 2, 4, all or a silent start, and post the outcomes within 2 days. Name and thank the contributors publicly. Then measure your voice index. Aim for 80% participation and raise it next time. You'll feel the shift. Energy rises, creativity surfaces, and the atmosphere gets lighter. Encouraging dialogue isn't about endless talking or losing control. It's about creating conversations that generate clarity, trust, and speed of learning. You don't need more charisma. You need better containers for contribution. You don't need 1,000 ideas. You need a fair system that lets the right ones emerge and the courage to test them. In the L.E.A.F framework, listening opens the door and encouraging dialogue invites the team in. From there, articulating clarity aligns everyone around purpose, and feedback keeps the growth loop alive. In our next episode, we'll dive into that third pillar, articulating clarity, and learn how to communicate vision with confidence so people know not just what to do, but why it matters. Until then, keep creating rooms where the best ideas can breathe. The future belongs to leaders who don't just speak well, they host great conversations. And before you go, if this message resonated with you, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with another leader who's ready to elevate their communication. If you'd like to bring the L.E.A.F Leadership Communication Advantage to your team or organization, visit LaTaniaMichelle.com to learn how we can partner together to build stronger cultures and more connected leaders. Because together, we can transform the way leadership sounds in the modern world.